and welcome back to the 57th episode of the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. Before I get into my special guest, I would like to shout out my first sponsor, the MMC Insurance Group, located on Trent Road. They do home, auto, and life insurance, and that business is owned by Travis Wayne, and they sponsor the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. I would like to thank y'all very much for the sponsorship. And now, for my special guest, she's been volunteering for the Cove City Cougars over 18 years. She's volunteered for high school for 3 years, coaching girls basketball, 2 years at the middle school, and last year was her first year doing youth basketball. And she's an amazing lady. She's given her time, her effort, and her knowledge back to the youth ever since I was a youth. Miss Ellie, right. How are you doing, Auntie Ellie?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Yes, ma'am. Everything been going all right?
Everything has been going great.
Yes,
great.
ma'am.
I'm thankful.
Yes, ma'am. So
yes.
how are you and the family doing ever since the pandemic hit us and COVID and everything else done hit us?
You know what? It was a bump, but we still moving.
Yes,
God
ma'am.
is still good.
Yes,
even
ma'am.
in
All
the
the
midst
time.
of this, he's still doing great things. So
Yes, ma'am.
I'm thankful.
Yes, ma'am. So I wanted to jump right into it because
Absolutely.
when I was a youngin', I got asked to play with the Cove City Cougars to play football, and honestly, y'all know me. I didn't know nothing about no football, but they threw me out there, and I had to learn. And
Absolutely.
I want to know, how did y'all get the Cove City Cougars Foundation started?
You know what? That was my dad's mission. That was his vision, and that was his dream. He moved from New York over 40 years ago, and that was what he always wanted to do. He wanted something for the people in the rural area, the kids in the rural area,
Yes, ma'am.
to be able to participate in. He started with the Craven Bears way back when.
Craven Bears?
Craven Bears, yes. He was coach for the Craven Bears, and once he left there, he wanted to have something out here in the country, on the countryside for the kids. So that was what he always wanted to do, and we put it into action. You know, when somebody has a vision, you see their vision, and when you see their vision, you can move forward with their vision.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we've been rolling ever since.
Ever since.
Ever since, yeah.
So the Cove City Cougars, located in Cove City, so talk about how many kids y'all have helped develop, not just football players,
Oh, my
but
goodness.
to young men and
Wow.
young women. Like you said, you're a cheerleading coach, so the young
Yes.
women too.
Yes. It's been I know thousands. I mean, just to make a difference, and
Yes, ma'am.
whether they go off to, whether they stick with football after, the little leagues, just exposing them to not only sports but discipline.
Yes, ma'am.
Being able to communicate, being able to get together and get along and to understand, learning fundamentals. And football and cheer, any sport is not just about the sport in general. It's about life.
It's about
Those are
yes,
life
ma'am.
skills that you're learning,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
you have to learn how to follow instructions. You have to learn how to listen. You have to learn how to lead in some instances.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's been awesome to see young people now that you taught. They were cheerleaders on my team, and you see them as nurses and lawyers. It's awesome. It's amazing. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah, I am.
Yes,
It's been
ma'am.
awesome.
So talk a little bit about your family background. First you said your father moved from Jersey. So you had father and mother. So go a little bit deeper. Do you have any siblings?
Oh yes, No, I was going to say unfortunately. Yeah, we've got several siblings. Some that are a set. We have a whole set that's older than we are. So they're in New York, Connecticut, Las Vegas, and California. And those were from my dad's previous marriage. Yeah. So, and then I've got my sister and a brother, Arthur and Nasha. So, and then a slew of nephews and nieces,
Yes, ma'am.
and my children. So we're just, we're sports. It's in our DNA.
Yes, ma'am.
It's in our DNA. I have uncles that have played the sport, Dwayne Beckton, Norman Beckton. It's in us. It's in us,
Yes, ma'am.
And I love it. I love the game. And I love any game you put me in front of. I love it.
You love it, yes,
Football,
ma'am.
basketball. Now, I ain't too fond of soccer.
Yeah, I mean,
That's gonna have to grow on me. But other than that, I mean, it's just what we've always done. we were introduced, myself and my cousin Keisha, we were introduced to basketball at 8 years old. And we had a coach, Levi Hall. I had a coach named Ed Brown, and I had a coach named Timothy Weathers. And at the time, we were the only two girls playing basketball.
Period.
Yeah, and we had to earn our respect on the court.
Yes, man. Even if you're playing with men, you still had to earn your respect.
Even we're playing with boys, and they would try to be, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I didn't mean it. No, play ball,
yes,
play ball.
Man.
So we learned at an earlier. It was engraved in us early.
Yes,
so
man.
from there, we just came to love the game. You can't not love the game. You can't not love.
If you're playing it, you can't not love.
You can't not love it. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, absolutely. So we're all sports. We're very competitive. So I'm thankful for that portion of it too as well.
Yes, ma'am. So talk about translating from being a player, like you said, you and your sister Keisha, to now coaching and assistant coaching, and last year being your first youth, your head coaching youth.
Yeah.
So talk about the differences from seeing yourself be an athlete to now being a coach.
It's different, but one thing I'll say, foundation never changes.
Yes, ma'am.
Fundamentals never change.
Yes, ma'am.
That's universal.
So that's always gonna stay the same.
That's gonna always be stationary.
Yes,
You're gonna always, if you don't have, you can be as talented as you want to, but if you do not have fundamentals, you got a long way to go.
Yes, ma'am.
So coming from, playing in middle school and high school, we were hungry for it, that hunger just continues to burn in you,
Yes,
so you want to not only see kids, get involved, you get involved in sports, that's less trouble you stay in.
Yes, ma'am.
So seeing them, wanting to just teach them, expose them to what I was exposed to, that's basically my desire, to teach them the fundamentals. When you have the fundamentals, everything else comes so much easier.
Yes, ma'am.
I can recall when we were in high school, our coach, Elizabeth Cox, best coach ever, besides Miss Wells, Denise Wells.
Yes, ma'am.
It wasn't a lot that we had to, learn. We didn't have to take a whole lot of time for fundamentals because we learned it at an early age.
Yes.
So when we got to middle school and high school, running these motion plays was nothing for us, And then you had some that weren't taught fundamentals, that it just became a little bit harder for them to grasp. So that's why I think fundamentals it's imperative. It's so important. It's the foundation of and not only basketball, but any sport. Any sport you play, you have to learn the basics.
The basics of the sport.
Yeah, the basics. When you get the basics, everything else is good. So it's different. The young girls that I taught last year, I saw growth, and that's the most amazing thing. Is from day 1 to day 24. You see so much growth.
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
you see so much growth, and they're excited about it, because you got to make it fun for them. You can't just be, serious all the time. So, but just to see, them light up, to see them not complain about running, not complain about doing push-ups, not complain about having to do planks or whatever, that means something. And I think that's a part of the difference today as opposed to when I was coming up. It was engraved in us, and you didn't have a choice. You didn't have a choice of complaining.
So it wasn't even no thought.
And excuses.
It was just
what
we're gonna do it.
Yes, absolutely. So you see that a little bit more, but not a whole lot. It's nothing that can't be worked out. So.
Is that the biggest difference as a player from you seeing yourself play and then you watching these girls and boys play now and you coaching them now? Is that one of the biggest differences, or what is the biggest difference from what you see as a player and then what you see now?
I think heart's a big difference, because sometimes you find kids that they like to play. They really, really like to play, but they don't love it.
They don't really, yes, man.
They don't have a hunger for it.
They just like to get out there.
They just like to get out there.
Yes,
it's something for them to do. So
yes,
that's the biggest difference that I've seen, because coming up when we were playing, there was no maybe come to practice and maybe not.
No, the love for the game, so we know we're gonna be there.
Yeah, and then you worked on the off season.
Yes,
you know,
ma'am.
during the summer you were on the concrete playing, but we
yes,
couldn't get
ma'am.
in the gym. So
anything we wanted to do to play the game, we did it.
You did. If you wanted to improve on your basketball handling drills, you did that. You worked on that.
Yes,
you know,
ma'am.
rebounding, you worked on it. Your footwork, you worked on it.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think that's the biggest difference I see now from when we were coming up. We played in high school. You know, we just it was a heart. You had a hunger for it. You know, more so than I see kids now. They like it. Some of them have a heart.
Some of them,
yeah.
ma'am.
Some of them love it. You know, y'all guys,
We
y'all loved it. I mean, y'all were in the gym. You know, outside of practice. Who leaves practice at high school and then goes to the gym
yes,
and
ma'am.
keep
That's
practicing?
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So that means something. That deciphers, that differentiates you from the regular player.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm saying? That and at the end of the day, that makes a difference. Even transitioning into collegiate sports. When you get to college, everybody is as good as you.
Yes, ma'am.
Or even better. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So you gotta, what do you need to do to make yourself stand out
from everybody else? Because everybody else is on the same level.
They're on the same level or higher.
Yes,
so in
ma'am.
order for you to reach them, that means you gotta work, and it's gotta be outside of what you already
What
did.
you're already doing. And
So
yes, ma'am.
so you gotta put in 100, sometimes 150%. So
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
the biggest difference I see. But I love it. I love the game. I'm excited. I want to see some football. I look at it on TV, but good gracious, it ain't nothing like
it ain't nothing like sitting in front of it.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Ma'am. Most definitely.
So yeah.
So what is the next big thing that you have planned for yourself in life?
I am taking the pre-steps to start my own business. Believe it or not.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. That's amazing.
The Lord gave me a vision several years ago, and it's just basically it's to help our elderly. You know, I have a love for them. I have a heart for, you know, helping them and making their life as best as I possibly can make it. You know, they're in the life. The Bible says that your latter days will be greater than your past. So I wanna hand in making that happen for them. So
Yes, ma'am.
yes, indeed. So I'm planning to. I don't know which way I want to go. I don't know what I want to do, or adult daycare, or resource, and I may just combine it. So the Lord gave me the desire, and I know He's gonna open the door. So
Yes, ma'am. Most definitely.
be looking out for me.
Yes, ma'am. and I pray that your business take off.
Yes,
ma'am.
and I thank you. I appreciate that. Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
ma'am.
Yes,
So the
indeed.
last question. I know your family gonna be mad at me, but I got to ask. Now, who the best out of y'all?
The best out of who?
All y'all, out of you and all your family, all your brothers and sisters.
Oh, no doubt. Myself, we had a game. I never forget it. And those boys rag on me all the time. They talk so much trash about, y'all. We went to the YMCA to play, and they won't let me live it down. That was the first time I have ever in my adult life, young life, youth life, ever had any kind of injury at all, and I twisted my ankle. Yeah, but Debo said it was because he broke my ankles, but that was not the case, okay? But I think it's every generation gets better and better. Yeah. So they say that my nephew plays like my uncle, but we never saw him play, because he died early. But I think every generation gets better and better.
Yes, ma'am. As it goes on,
yeah,
they learn
absolutely.
to take what we have and
you go
build
further.
on it.
Yes,
ma'am.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
But you say you did them in the
Oh,
YMCA.
yeah, I did a little bit, just a little bit. No, but yeah, and I think that most of it was just our skill set, the way we learned how to play versus the way they
learn how to play. Yes, ma'am.
So, but it all worked out.
Yes.
It all worked out. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. But there y'all have it, y'all.
Yes,
That's the
indeed.
end of the 57th episode of the Joshua Cuthbertson Show with my special guest, Ellen Hargett. We are out.
See ya.
All right, y'all. Thank you for watching the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. Please continue to show your love and support by clicking the subscribe button below the video. Check us out next week on the next episode of the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. We out.